Okay, then I guess we might as well get started now. So to start, a couple of updates. Entity in Singapore formed. Legal opinion received. Mexi listing on the 30th this month, so we have a centralized exchange. 2 weeks after that, within 2 weeks after that, we're gonna have another centralized exchange as well. Diamond Hands is on track for about the same time as the Mexi listing, so we should have that in mainnet about the same time. Um, let's see. There's like a couple of other things happening in the background as well. The first drop that's going to go out to Diamond Hands holders is pretty much done. Uh, like all of the contract code or like for that project side that's done. So it's like timeline is like Diamond Hands goes out and like first drop for Diamond Hands would probably be 2 weeks after it drops. Yeah. So I guess all good things. We have the centralized exchange listing confirmed for the 30th. We have another one 2 weeks after that. We have the legal opinion. Oh yeah, other updates I guess. With Mint Labs as well, we're going to be having a cross-chain NFT. So April 2nd, there's going to be a community mint for that after, like 3 days after the Mexi listing. And again, these are going to be like profile picture type NFTs. They're interchain. We're partnering with Mint Labs for this. The NFTs look dope, and they're also going to be cheap. They're going to be like 10 to $20 each. Um, so it's not like, and the money used from the NFT raise will strictly go towards listing fees for more centralized exchanges. And then I guess another update there is the Dog Nexus 404. The 3D art's almost done with that, so it's taking so long. The Dog Nexus 404 is, we got one set of art created for DN 404. We weren't happy with it, so then we created another set in like 3D, and that's still under development. I'd give it probably another 10 days until completion, and then we'll be able to update Dog Nexus 404 with updated art. Yeah, so that's the summary of the updates. A lot going on. Um, I guess we have three speakers here. Do we want to start with anything you guys had in your mind? Janelle, you're unmuted.
Okay, Janelle doesn't
Um,
know he's unmuted. But I just wanted to congratulate everybody that has been on Any Inu. This is a journey that just started, and we're going to continue working hard. And Diamond Hand. This is a very good project, and yeah, guys, let's hold on to Any Inu and let's all contribute any way we can. All right, I'm gonna go mute now.
any way we can. I like that. Any way we can. Uh, any community, anywhere, anytime. So those are some updates from like the team side. Also within the next month, expect at least a chatbot out of any Enu as well. Basically, we're going to take GPT-4 docs and announcements as context to GPT-4 as well as like contract addresses. So you're going to be able to like query that bot, and we're going to have like an AI bot for like any Enu tomorrow at least, within the next month. So that should be good. And then let's see. Also for next month, I don't think in terms of like any alias and any API, like any API like timeline for that would probably be any any API would probably be late June, July, and then any alias could be out in May. So that's like timeline for those further items. Let's see. Mods have been hard at work. All of the raids people have been doing have been great. Uh, it's like pretty crazy the way we launched. Right, we launched. We didn't really publicize it. There's like 2, 3 followers on Twitter. And then, you know, from the contract, you know, people found the TGE, found the website, and like the community grew itself from there organically. And from like the first few people that like found the project, we've grown to the size we've grown, and we've continued to grow, and like the momentum has kept going. I think it's the case at, you know, 50 holders, people are like, oh, the project's dead. Like 500 holders, oh, the project's dead. Like 1,000, 2,000, like every time people are like, oh, you know, this can't be real. It's too good to be true, and it just we keep growing. Um, and I think like given like the macro conditions, and like if you look at like any other project that had launched uh, at the same time we had launched, we're doing so much better. Both, I mean, I would like to speculate about like our market wise. I mean, objectively, we are doing like better market wise this project, but just as a community, compared to like other projects that launched in the same window we launched, we are so strong as a community. Um, and it's been like amazing to see that community form and continue to grow. 48,000 holders is fucking insane. Um, and I think we all know here that it's going to be over 100,000 in the next month. So yeah, just insane. I think when people really like learn about the project, they realize it's obvious. It's like obviously like the next iteration. So like in my experience, I bet in a lot of your experiences, we all realize that crypto is incredibly narrative driven, and obviously this is where the narrative is headed towards multi-chain. And in the future, where we, you know, imagine hundreds of these L1s and L2s, it's obvious that the community we've built here, like the technology, like all the utilities, that and any new is obviously the future. And in terms of like building this community, these utilities, all of the mods, the core community team, replicating that is just incredibly difficult. Like what we've built here just takes so much time and effort by so many people to get built, and you know, I'm happy we have what we have together. Um, I guess with that, I can open the floor to questions. Anyone who came up to yeah, just feel free to request to speak or unmute and ask away. Again, like major announcement is Mexi listing on the 30th, another centralized exchange in 2 weeks after that. Entity formed, legal opinion received. Diamond hands out at the time of Mexi listing. First project in Diamond Hands 2 weeks after that. Um, an NFT, low cost NFT collection to be used for exchange listing fees coming out April 2nd. It's multi chain. DN404 art almost done. So those are the announcements. Let's see. I guess I can start from the comments while people are still shy. Did you say legal opinion was completed and that's why we're getting all these sex listings? No, I would actually think, at least for like Mexi, I don't think the legal opinion moved the needle there. I think for something like OKX or like KuCoin, the legal opinion actually moves the needle over there. At least for like Mexi, I believe that like moved the needle. But like it was important that, you know, we get like this entity set up, and we're able to get this like legal opinion such that we're able to use it like going forward. You know, just get through this like process. You know, 2 weeks to like set up the entity, another week to actually get like legal opinion finished. I think it was valuable. We went through that process. Um, it's oh well, I mean, it's funny. Before I even made the announcement, someone was like 1 sex. That's a classic one. Oh, we have a brave soul coming up. Yeah, feel free to unmute and speak whenever.
Hello. Good evening or morning for some of us. For the Diamond Hands, in end of the month, is it first a testnet that will be live, or how will that go?
We can just go straight live. We can go straight mainnet. It's been being tested. In terms of like actually like doing user tests, I realize now there's not much point in those user tests because like
Mhm.
most of the changes, regardless, would be UI changes. At least on like the contract side, it's fine. So there's not much point in testing that.
Okay, so we're going straight live. Very good.
Yeah, we're going to live. Sram?
Hi, Anitoshi. Congratulations for all the work. It's really good. Just one question. How are we providing liquidity to these new sex listings? Means Mexi and the next one couple of weeks after,
Uh,
please?
so from like large whales in our own community. So the way I've been handling this is, so we have this like core community team that's like working super hard, and then there's also some holders that want to like help the project but don't have time to actively contribute or like put in the hours. So instead of putting in the hours, they're putting in money towards these like listings. So we hope in the future for like the NFT mint or like revenue from like DN404, we're able to use that towards like listings, right? But in the meantime, it's these like passive whales with like who are up on their cost basis who want to help the project, have been raising for those fees, and at least for like the market making on the exchange itself, I will be providing tokens and liquidity myself because to the market maker that's like a loan, so I'll probably lose money due to impermanent loss, but or I guess not necessarily. There is a spread in exchange, but listing fees will be covered by large holders, and the actual market making money will be put up by me.
Oh, that's really excellent. That's really good work. I don't have any words actually. It's really good community and you are really supporting very well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I get it's like it's not possible for me. Like everyone here on the community team, the mods, like everyone has been putting in the work and hours. Like I see 8-bit Sam here is listening in. I see lots of the core mods, community members. Like this isn't possible without everybody. It's not only me. So like I can handle like some of the angles. Communicating to these like dexes and like the listings as well as like development. But in terms of like actually building this like strong community, it's just not possible without this like wider team. And you know I think they deserve a lot of credit for really putting in the hours, for getting the message out, and entire community who's been putting in work to realize this. And um, it's been amazing to see just like how much we've been able to grow it together. Um, oh, yep. Did someone unmute?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. You talked about the market maker. What does it imply for us?
Oh, okay. So this is kind of interesting. I bet maybe there's a lot of people here who aren't familiar with like what a market maker is, and I guess this will just be like a fun, informative thing. So you notice how when you go to an exchange, right? There's a bunch of like these bids and asks. So people, put in prices where like, oh, I'm willing to buy at this price, and that's at the bid side. And then people put in orders where they're like, I'm willing to sell at this price on the ask side, right? Um, so people putting in those orders themselves like isn't sufficient. So what you do is you hire someone called like a market maker to always to provide a range of those bids and asks. So they're liquidity providers. So if on like chain you have like a decentralized exchange like Uniswap or like PancakeSwap, like providing that bid and ask on a centralized exchange, a market maker is someone who provides these like bids and asks for people's orders. So if I'm trying to like move some size on an exchange, I'm gonna have like a bid or an ask for that size. Um, so they provide liquidity, and for any like listing you do, not only do you have like the listing fees, marketing, so some stuff there, legal stuff. You also need market making. I think we were all familiar recently with like the craziness around like Slurf and like Bohm and like all of that. Like in terms of like that momentum for centralized exchanges, a lot of that depends on like market making relationships. Like in building these relationships with centralized exchanges, I've now realized it's best to first approach market makers, because they have existing relationships with these exchanges, and then go through the market makers to the exchange, and then propose something together. Yeah, I mean, just some insightful as crypto. If any of you guys eventually choose to run your own project in the space, I highly recommend going through a market maker first when seeking out a centralized exchange, because it'll just make your life a ton easier. Okay, that's that. Let's see. How does the project is capable of manage the gap price between chains, and how is it going to keep it that way as the project grows? So in the space, like MEV is a thing, miner extractable value. So like on chain, right, on like Ethereum, between all the dexes we have Uniswap, Sushi Swap, like Pancake Swap, like even like the USDC, like ETH pairs, like compared to exchanges, like there are gaps in those prices. But why those gaps aren't big is like that market has been super efficient. There's still a lot of opportunity in like multi-chain, where there really haven't been any like groups who've set up like infrastructure to do competitive. But as soon as interchain arbitrage gets competitive, uh, the gaps in our prices across chains will like close, and the amount of value extracted from that arbitrage will like decrease as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about the gaps in the pricing, and in that regard too, like over a week ago, we took the step to get ourselves an oracle on Moonbeam through Dia. And the purpose of that price feed, that oracle on like Moonbeam, is Moonbeam has some of the fastest transfer times on Axelar's network between all of these chains, and a lot of like DeFi for Axelar specific applications is being built on Moonbeam. So us having an oracle there is, for example, like Prime Protocol. It's like a money market, which means people can post collateral and then borrow like any inu on any of these like subchains. And being able to like borrow it there uh, should make it very easy for people arbitraging to balance out prices. And it should also mean the spreads, like the gaps between those prices between chains, should close as well, close faster, and the gap should be smaller as well. Let's see. Regarding AnyInu on Blast, so it's a standard optimism bridgeable token. Uh, so it is AnyInu. It's a one-way bridge. It's not an Axelar ITS. So we had all this like hype around like Blast when it like first launched, and we wanted to be like one of the first projects on Blast, and we were actually one of the first projects on Blast. So in that regard, I made an optimism bridgeable token. Just a standard pattern you'd use if you're bridging to like optimism. It like works for Blast as well. There's like some extra code to like collect points like gas fees for the token as well. And yeah, so we were bridgeable like day one. And what's going to happen long term is we're going to set up a pair with the ITS version of AI paired with the non-ITS version of AI. That's why if you notice on Blast, it's parentheses non-ITS, non-interchain token service. And then over time, we're going to be able to like migrate to the ITS version of the token. And when that migration is majority complete, we're going to be able to update token info on BlastScan, as well as token info on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So that's the situation with Blast. So because the bridge, so specifically with that token, so like to bridge in AI into Blast with an optimism bridgeable token, it's like pretty much instant to like get it onto Blast, but then the withdraw time is about 14 days because it is an L2 and it is a standard token on the L2. Um, Eventually, when we do merge the tokens, to bridge in and bridge out should be about 15 minutes. Like comparable optimism-based chains and ITS. And over there too, liquidity is unlocked on Blast. So once we have the majority migrated um, from the 9 ITS version to the ITS version, we'll be able to start migrating liquidity as well. So we're going to have liquidity on Blast for the ITS version of AnyInu. Let's see, more questions. Nope, that seems to be it. Any brave souls want to request to speak? Come up, like shoot the shit. Pass
Yeah,
away.
I'm going to offer myself again. I wanted to ask, I see a lot when we are on Twitter that there is a shift to base chain. Are we going to do anything with that?
So Diamond Hands will be available on base chain, and if you've noticed, there hasn't been really a standard locking app or like a standard meta with like how people lock up tokens or do anything on base chain. So I think vid base, I think we should get a lot of cross promo out of use of Diamond Hands. So that'll be valuable in itself. I think one person, like a large holder, has migrated some of their V3 liquidity to base as well to try and bolster liquidity there. Is base and Solana, and that's where we're gonna like focus up. It's like clear, like right now, this like cycle in like crypto, like the currency is attention, right? And we have to play to the attention to grow our community, to actually get people to know about AnyInu in the first place. Like once people find out about the project, they love it, they finally get it. Until then, they can dismiss it as like a random like dog coin or whatever. And they're free to do that at their own expense, I guess. But uh, yeah, I'm looking forward to grow the communities on base and Solana, and wherever the narrative may shift. And what's really nice about AnyInu itself is like you don't, if you're like an active, I guess, like crypto trader, there's no real need to chase the narrative in AnyInu, because whatever chain the narrative may focus on, more than likely we're probably on that chain, and in the future we're certainly on that chain. Uh, so yeah, no need to chase the narrative with AnyInu. Don't think a lot of coins can say that. I don't think any coin can really say that. Just as an offhand comment, like that stuff the other week with Slurf, some of the funniest things I've ever heard. If any of you guys like dropped into that space, that was just like coming from like someone in crypto a long time. That was hilarious. That honestly one of the dumbest things I've ever seen or hear happen. Yeah, just if you guys haven't heard about that entire Slurf situation, it's just really funny. Also shows the value of market makers in like getting all of those exchange listings very fast, and like the value of solid liquidity. If he had burned 10,000, like I don't think anyone would care. Okay, we got a couple more speakers on board. Feel free to unmute and ask away.
Yo, what's going on, Any? How you doing?
Chilling, a bit hungover, but I'm good.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Definitely feel that, little. Awesome, dude. I'm just glad I could make a space again. It's been a minute, dude. I didn't even realize how much was really going on until like I like really tuned into the space. Obviously, I knew about the listings and stuff, but man, dude, like holy crap, like I didn't even realize it. But heck yeah,
So,
man. I don't even like. I don't even know what to say, dude. Like I just really wanted to come shoot the shits with you and say what's up and say what's up to community and stuff. And I'm rocking with you guys, and it's a great community and just amazing to be a part of. And you're an awesome leader, dude. So heck yeah, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
just to
appreciate
bring it up again, the
you
listing is
consistently coming on.
March 30th, right?
Correct. It's March 30th.
Oh, okay, thank you.
oh,
Dark.
and also my bad. I wanted to give a shout out to 8-Bit too, man, because I see him in the whole community, and definitely like deserves a good shout out, like you said as well. And there's a couple other people as well, but I just see him a lot at the time, and definitely deserves a shout out
They,
along
they,
with Abby.
everyone's been hustling. It's not me. I may handle some of like the dev and like relationships where it requires like the actual like developer to do, but in terms of like all this community building to have what we have right now is not possible without the team. It's a community effort, and
Correct.
what we have right now we would not have without them.
Definitely, and that goes for everyone that's raiding. Like I'm in the raids too. Like that goes for everybody in the Telegram raiding. Like dude, like any Toshi was saying, or I just call you that, I guess. But like he was saying, like this wouldn't be possible without all of us. Not only 8-Bit Sam or any Toshi, it's all of us like raiding and like spreading the word and just letting people know what we're about and like what good things we have in store, all because of
Exactly.
AnyToshi and the team and the community. So it's all as a whole, man. But just wanted to come chop it up and say hi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, big shout out to 8-Bit Sam, 18 Decimals, Boost, BMS Jedi. Man, you guys have a big community and big shout out, respect.
Um, let's see, fun things to shoot the shit. Um, I guess with like base reemerging, so like a huge constraint. Oh, I guess I could have talk about something I like made uh, for Solana, but ended up canceling. Um, so you know how like there's all of this like pre-sale hype for Solana. So one thing I wanted to do, like following like Book of Memes, is like the big thing with like Book of Memes was like they kept the metadata mutable on like that contract, such that they could like append to the metadata like endlessly. Because on Solana, on like the main DEX use their Radium to create like regular liquidity pools. It only supports SPL tokens. Like you can think of like SPL tokens like ERC20 tokens on like Ethereum. There's like very basic tokens. You can like transfer them. There's like no gimmicks um, in those tokens. And I thought it was really cool, like if we made like an any token. Um, so the idea would be like, when this pre-sale meta was happening a week ago as like a way to get like attention on the project, something possibly I wanted to do, like the code for this was actually developed, is, raise money and then have the metadata for a token be mutable and controlled by a contract, and then anyone can burn a fixed amount of tokens to change that contract's metadata. So you can kind of think of it as like any token, right? So suppose like Elon makes like another tweet about like Grok or whatever. Someone could burn some of their tokens and like change the metadata of that token to be like Grok AI or whatever, or like Elon's like new dog. It'd be like any token on like Solana. And I thought that would have been like good and like getting attention to any Inu on like Solana. But at the same time, I ended up not following through with it just because we're already doing so many things. And I feel like it would be distracting from our mission as a community. But that's just something I found I wanted to throw out, that I realized on Solana, within the constraints of like Radium and like these tokens, like because with an SPL token, you have like what mint freeze, like metadata updates. Um, you're able to manipulate the metadata such that you can have it as like kind of like a billboard, token. Anyone can burn a fixed amount and like update the name and like image of the token. Um, I thought that could have been a lot of fun, but ultimately distracting from our other ambitions. I don't know. think I think our other stuff's going to be very exciting. Like specifically, like first thing that's going out to like Diamond Hands is like the core idea. Like V1 of that was developed like half a year ago. Um, so I'm excited to share it with people. I think people will really like that. Still waiting for Chainlink VRF to be deployed on base. Uh, that's like a small hint to what the contents of that drop could be. Let's see. Yeah, that's me just ranting about something I want to do on Solana. Wanted to do on Solana. Let's see. Be one of these emerging narratives. Like, I think we all recognize here, like, if we're in the any community, that's not a question of if, but when the multi-chain narrative becomes dominant. It could be next month, it could be in a couple of months, but it will come one day, and we're going to be ready. We're going to have like the base built, we're going to have the utilities built, and we're going to have the strongest community in OmniChain, and it's just going to be impossible for anyone to catch up. And I guess what's really cool about these, OmniChain tokens and communities is they're so hard to build that, like, for at least OmniChain tokens, like, I don't think you're going to see a lot of rug pulls just because they're so hard to set up, which is cool, I guess. You know, let's see. Any other brave souls want to shoot the shit about anything? Could be about like current like narratives in the space. Any specific. Um, well, I guess in that regard, I can talk about like some of my insights as like a trader, my like self. So like this is outside of any new. It's not me providing financial advice or anything. But one thing to recognize about the crypto space is we're incredibly narrative driven. Everyone loves a good story. Also the case, I guess, in like traditional VC and like Valley, everything is narrative and story driven. And I think we have a really here. And just to like bring an example to that, recently that have like burning his entire liquidity, that itself is a story and narrative. It's a compelling story for people. And when thinking about like these, where crypto is like headed, it's very important to think about these like stories and narratives. And uh, if you have one narrative, conclusion of like what the next narrative may be, because our space is incredibly story and narrative driven. So that's one thing I wanted to put out there about like crypto in general.
Hey, Toshi, I got a question for you really quick. What do you like in your opinion, like no financial advice? I'm just curious for your mindset there. What what do you prefer, Ethereum or Solana?
I prefer Ethereum. Um, I prefer Ethereum because of developers. Um, yeah, I actually strongly prefer Ethereum. I don't prefer like the base chain Ethereum. I prefer like L2s on Ethereum just because like the tool sets have gone so good. So of course, when you're developing like Rust code, whatever, you're able to like formally verify that. But like equivalent formal verification tools have been developed for Solidity. And what's kind of cool about like Solidity is kind of like the JavaScript of of the blockchain world. So it's like super flexible, and in the past up, but at this point, like tooling and like testing infrastructure is just like so good with EVM. That's just it's just very developer friendly. Um, so like Solana's cool, but at least from my personal perspective, I don't like the fact that size of the validator set. I don't necessarily like developing for Solana. I don't think it's as developer.
Interesting. I'm a Solana type of guy. I'm not gonna lie. The gas is kind of
I don't
curious
blame.
to me, man.
Like,
Even
you
after.
know, have you been on
Okay,
base
so since
recently? Crypto
What did
Crypto
you
Ape,
say?
have you
My
been
bad.
on base recently?
Base?
Have
I
you
don't.
been on base?
Nah.
If you haven't been on like the optimism base, the EIP, like the transaction costs are the same as Solana. The throughput's like pretty much the same as like Solana. Like the user experience is pretty much the same, even maybe more reliable.
What is
So I'd
what is
say this like
base? Is there something I could look up?
uh, Coinbase's L2. It's like Coinbase launched a layer two, and the presumption is so one of the largest fiat gateways for crypto is Coinbase. And since they've developed an L2, and inside the Coinbase app itself, they're developing like a native wallet. So any coin that's actually indexed by Coinbase, not listed on Coinbase, but indexed on it, in that self-custodial wallet, if it is on base chain or a supported chain, you're going to be able to swap inside the Coinbase app. Chain for that like user.
so just shooting our shit, right? So Toshi, when you started the project, did you ever think that any community was gonna grow as much on the Phantom blockchain, considering that Phantom at the time was considered that chain?
I don't think has ever been really dead. I think the multi chain hack really screwed up. So I think the multi like really put a damper, but like post settlement, and now Andre is like back in the space. I think there are a lot of great things happening on Phantom, and obviously in terms of like thought leaders and on like Phantom, like at the time we launched, things were still murky. I'm sure Sam knows more about the state of Phantom than I do. But now there's clearly a leading decks there. Equalizer is on the lead in Phantom. The bridges in and out, are finally reliable. Like me personally, like coming into and out of Phantom, I like to use Squid Router, and that works pretty well. Um, yeah, I think Phantom is definitely strong. I think maybe in December I could see how people could discount it as a dead chain after the multi-chain vulnerability. But given the settlement, given that Andre is back, given like recent momentum on that chain, yeah, I fuck with Phantom. I think Phantom's cool. And like the core consensus is like differentiated as well. So like if you have exposure to I guess like old like L2s, Phantom is differentiated.
Yeah.
Solana's different, Phantom's different, these L2, they're each categories. But with any you don't care. You get a benefit from all of these consensus protocols. We get a benefit from Solana, we get the benefit from Base. We get a benefit from Phantom. We're independent. To
Exactly.
to us
Exactly.
is like
Yeah.
any we don't care about the other.
No, no,
We're
exactly. No,
everywhere.
exactly. Yeah. No, I was just,
Uh,
just we were just shooting our shit, and I was just asking, what were your thoughts? No, no, but that's a great answer. Very good. Thank you.
yeah, exciting things happening over there. Yeah, I think so. Andre is definitely going to drop, an art coin on Phantom soon, maybe like an art DeFi protocol. And I think that may shift the attention back to Phantom. I'm sure 8-Bit Sam has like far more informed like insights here. But yeah, wouldn't discount it. And again, Phantom pops off. We're gonna be there as well. Any news on Phantom? Um, Everyone here has exposure to that as well. um, yeah, it's nice not really having to chase narratives when you are the narrative or going to be the narrative.
What network do you plan on launching the NFT collection on? I don't know if I heard it. You might have already said it.
It's omni-chain, so we hope to have the mint on both Ethereum and BSC. So like the mint itself will be split between BSC and Ethereum. We haven't decided on final prices yet, but it'll be between $10 to $20. Perhaps there will be a discount if you're like an AnyInu holder. So that's that, and then like the purpose of the funds used from NFT mint will go strictly I was a fan of Pudgy Penguins in the past, and it really works. What really appeals to a lot of people is cute, so I went for cute for the NFT collection. And it is omni chain, so it'll support a bunch of layer 0 and Axelar chains. And with the NFT collection specifically, we are working with Mint Labs, and they're the guys who did Axelar's NFT collection.
Oh, that's sick.
So yeah, that's that regarding the NFTs.
You don't have any interest in
Let's
launching on
see
Bitcoin
what else is
marketplaces?
going on in this space. Yeah, so Solana really be wild in this past week. Solana really be wild thing. Holy crap. Um, yeah, where are they doing over there? um, yeah, I think we are getting these like centralized exchange listings, and it should put fuel on the fire towards like growing our community. But the decentralized exchanges, like specifically like the fiat ones, like Coinbase, becoming like gateways to like a self-custodied wallet. Like Coinbase, that like how they're doing their self-custodied wallet in the app is that they're trying to like mimic the current like exchange experience, but like in the back end, it's like a self-custodied wallet. So that should open a lot of things that are previously only on dexes to a much wider range of users, and probably I think that's like a factor a lot of people really haven't like considered, that like a lot of these like fiat gateways are truly just like fiat gateways, and they're building utilities to allow their own users to swap on like decentralized exchanges. I think a lot of people aren't aware that's happening, and that's an emerging thing. And I think we all imagine it, like the multi-chain narrative. It's coming. We know it's coming. It's not a question of if, it's when. Let's see. Any brave souls? Let's see. Let's go through the questions here. Is there any way of knowing impact of the meme competition? How many new assets and memes were created? I haven't actually gone through the memes yet. Prizes for that competition, but now that the competition uh, is nearing an end, I think it makes sense, yeah, to review the assets and the memes, and of course share that with the community. Get Axler Network in here. Wait, are they in here listening in? Where are they at? See them? Are they hiding? uh, is there an audit for Token and Diamond App? So we're actually AnyInu itself is audited. Uh, we're a standard Axler ITS token. If you go to the bottom of our website, there are audits for that. Diamond App is like audited. I have a friend at like Gauntlet, who unofficially audited it for me, but it's not an official audit. Um, I could go out and waste like 10 grand for like a Certec audit, but I don't think anyone really wants that. I feel like things are more likely to be wrong audited by Certec than not. Um, I guess we can take like one or two more questions, or if anyone wants to come up, or have any other narrative or topic they want to cover. It doesn't specifically have to be any related. Just like things going on in space in general. Just yeah, I mean, again, Solana has just been wilding recently. That I've been in crypto space a long time. I've never never seen something like that before. You unmuted?
I
Crypto
think
Binks?
so. Yes. So I just wanted to say something real quick. Like, just as
Okay.
as y'all
Any
like,
other brave souls? Let's see. I guess I can talk more like AI stuff. So if you guys aren't already using like a pro version of like ChatGPT, Gemini, or like Claude, like what are you doing? Like if any of you guys are working like office jobs, you guys should definitely be subscribed for $20 a month to either Claude or GPT Pro. It's definitely worth every penny. I think you use like ChatGPT, like the free version, and like makes like a bunch of mistakes. Um, the pro versions of like both Anthropic's Claude and GPT-4 are well worth the $20 a month. So like anyone here working a white collar job and like in the office, if you're not using those AI tools, like paying the $20 a month, you definitely should be paying the $20 a month. I guarantee it'll save you at least 10 hours a month. Guarantee. Oh, we have another brave speaker. Hello.
Yes, well, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I'm so fucking bullish about this, and I'm proud of the entire community rating 24/7, and well, just wanted to say that.
Yeah, no, and I'm super bullish on the community as well. Like it's just we are so strong and like resilient. Like I think for like a lot of meme coins, like I don't like talking about price, but like if you just look at like the charts, it's like always the same pattern. Uh and there's obviously something different here in terms of like community growth, the strength of the community. And I think maybe you could like even see it in like the chart too as like a proxy for like steady growth as well. Um, Not your average token. So yeah, a lot going on. And it's nice that we're getting all of this built now, this like strong base, because when the narrative shifts, we're gonna be ready to eat all of these other tokens. Um, and it's gonna be fucking great. It's not if but when. Yeah,
Yo,
sorry.
man,
I normally
I have a quick question, if you don't mind.
don't like being like so bullish on like a permanent bull or like speculating on price or things of that nature, but it just seems obvious. Narrative will shift to multi-chain, and any Inu will. Um, yeah, that's all I had there. Let's see. I'll take one or two more questions, and I guess we could wrap up for today. And over the course of the week, watch out for more announcements on like the Telegram. The community team has been doing a great job in terms of like organizing like ongoing information and putting it out to the community. I think as far as like meme tokens or like dog coins go, we're pretty organized. Um, So expect more announcements over the coming week, and I hope to share more with you guys soon. If no one else wants to speak, I guess I'll just end it there. AnyInu owns every narrative. Not much else to say. I'll see you guys next week. In terms of like next week, did people have like a preference? So like for me, the best times are, 5 o'clock Fridays, like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 11 a.m. Standard Time Saturdays. I guess next week then it might make sense for me to do Friday at 5, just in terms of catching like more people. So I guess I'll like schedule that space now after this is done as well. Scheduled for Friday.
What about exchange listing?
What?
What about exchange listing? Someone sent to some coins sent to exchanges.
Yes, we have Mexi coming up on the 30th, and then within 2 weeks there's another exchange coming as well. So we have Mexi
Okay,
on the
thank you.
30th, and then 2 weeks after that there's going to be another exchange. Within 2 weeks after that there's another exchange. So that's that. Okay. I guess I'll see you guys again Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If that time doesn't work for you, I hope you guys can listen in onto that spaces, and I hope you guys like the Diamond Hands app. I hope you guys like the NFTs, and I hope you guys like some of the tech we're going to be showcasing as well. Peace, y'all. Thanks for joining in.